All right, we are on hole number 2 of the Ghostly Glades tournament, qualifying round for the rookie division. Let's go to Golf Clash Notebook and check out hole number 2. Hole number 2 is one of the par 3s. And on this hole, we're going to, everybody's driving, hitting here and then bouncing over this area and then running it up. I'm going to use a Guardian and actually drive the green and try and backspin it into the hole. We're going to try that out. We used a Quasar last time and we were in our minimum range. Let's see here, minimum range. But I think there's an elevation difference here, so I actually adjusted for minimum range. And we're at 1.2. And I adjusted like 1.7 and it was, we didn't take out enough. So I'm actually going to just make a regular adjustment and act like it was a full range shot. So we'd be at 1.2 per ring. And I'm thinking maybe that'll be enough. We're going to select that one. And we're going to select a Quasar. Those should be the only two things we need here. Hopefully we will not need to bring out our putter. But I wouldn't bank on it. So off we go to hole number 2, par 3. Anytime that you can take one of these par 3s and you can drive the green and bring a club with you that'll allow you to do that, that's much better, in my opinion, than trying to bounce over something to get onto the green. Now, we may be taking out, you may have a better shot at the hole-in-one by bouncing it over, but I'm a big fan of driving a surface and staying on that surface the whole time. Because on these par 3s, while it may lower our shots for hole-in-one, anytime you can take out the risk of getting a par on a par 3, that is big. Because you do not want to par a par 3. Not in the tournament. It's too hard to get those extra shots. Pick up that albatross. Pick up a hole-in-one on one of these holes. Pick up that eagle on that par 4 that most people are just birdieing. And then to lose that extra shot that you work so hard for by parring a par 3. Is not good. So our opponent brought a Kingmaker, which I think is probably, you don't think you need to bring that club. That much ball. I'm not sure where he's at with his Saturn. Yeah, he's at maximum. So with a 7, that's probably a 1.9 adjustment per ring. A little teeny bit of backspin there. Didn't take off any wind, so he must feel confident with where he's at. I can never figure out when guys aren't using the ring method what they're doing. They line their ball up, and they never did actually line their ball up, so it went right at the hole. So, you don't really know where that ball's going to end up. I'm a big fan of lining it up, getting it lined up right at the hole, making the wind adjustment, and then going from there. So our maximum backbone's right there. Here's our Guardian. We're going to do maximum backspin. We're going to try and get that first bounce in the hole. So we're at 1.2, so there's 3.8. So we're just a little over. We're about 3 1/3 rings. Hit it perfect, so we're going to be able to tell whether our wind adjustment is correct. And so we under adjusted. We should have made a little bigger adjustment on that. So let's go 1.4 per ring. Let's see what that does for us. 1.4 per ring would have been 3.42. I'll have to look at that. Let's do some math here. I'll have to go back and look at that and see exactly what happened there as far as the ring adjustment. It's one of the benefits you guys have is you guys can go back and look and see. If I did a 1.2, that would have been 3.6, and then a third would have put me at 4.0. And I ended up a little over, so I should have drawn it a little bit more, so it should have been maybe even like 1.0 per ring. I'll have to go back and do the math on that and see where I was at. I hit that shot perfect both times I've played that hole, and I did the same thing, lined it up exactly the same way, and I kind of ended up in the same spot. So I think there's an elevation change there, so we're gonna, and it's probably that it's higher, so we're having to, instead of adding on a percentage where we're doing a 1.4, we're actually taking off, so maybe we're doing like a 1.0 per ring. So I under adjusted. I should have adjusted more there. So I'll have to go back and watch that and see what I did and where I ended up, because I was a good full ring and a quarter, ring and a half off on a perfect shot. Now I could expect that if we had headwind, but with the wind that we had, I should have been closer on that shot. So it was definitely an adjustment that I made for the wind. I was off on my adjustment. All right. That was hole number 2 of the Gosu Glades tournament the qualifying round in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.